Hello, everyone. This is Nelida Marquez, and I am your facilitator this week. We continue to study the book Don't Get So Upset. Help young children manage their feelings by understanding your own. And this is a guide for caregivers by Tamar Jacobson. This week, we will analyze chapter 4 called We Face Our Feelings or Powerlessness. I hope to help you be mindful and reflective in your life and practice by the reflections in this chapter. Okay, before I facilitate this chapter, I'd like to talk about what powerlessness is so that we all manage the same terminology and meaning about this word. Okay? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, powerlessness is the condition or feeling of having no power. When you apply this term to the education field and specifically to the early childhood thing, this reflects very well the definition of this word. We realize that we have many moments in our practice, in our classroom, in our contact with children and parents when we experience powerlessness. We talk about powerlessness because we have a notion of power, and our concept of power is related to controlling and predicting our life in all of details being always like a perfect version of the circumstances around us. No? However, we need to understand that we cannot always control all circumstances. We cannot control the children around us. We cannot control the challenging behaviors that arouse in the every single day in the flow of the classroom. Okay, so the feeling of power is much more an internal uh, feeling of the teacher that pretend uh, we think that we can control the situation, but it's not real. When we work with children of early childhood, many factors influence to lose the power to control some events in the routine. No? And when we forced to control children, um, we have a teacher-centered perspective. And not according to me, according to many research and many theories, such as Dewey and Stewart and many others, we know that the outcomes under this teacher-centered perspective could be harmful to child development. I would like to show you this video to illustrate how we experience powerlessness through a single situation that can emerge from a simple event in the classroom.
We don't have more. Don't forget you left those things out here. I threw it in the trash can. I don't have any more peaches. These are dirty. I don't have any more peaches. Would you like something else? Zachary, Brianna, and Mike want peaches. Sorry, Joshua, I didn't throw them on the floor. They're dirty. Yeah, Josh, they're dirty. Now you eat your peaches. It's okay, Brittany. Joshua, would you like to get up and have a banana? Leslie, since you're here, Joshua. Huh? I'll take them. Okay. Joshua, you want to get up and have a banana, or do you want to go back to the classroom? Okay, we're going back to the classroom. Come here. I'm sorry that you have to go before. I'm sorry that you didn't get a nap. Joshua, that really hurt.
Well, wow. This video is not about a disrespectful child and his teacher. Okay, it is about the disability of this child to resolve a difficult situation. Is a child and is logical, is normal in this age. The child have a lack of self-regulation, don't have don't has self-control and need co-regulate the behavior with the educator. Okay, the child feels overwhelmed, and in the video we observed that the educator doesn't control the situation, never. Okay, and she cannot because many factors influence that this child show a challenging behavior. Now, please watch the next video. And after that, we can compare both and enrich our knowledge about the power of accepting or powerlessness.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you think Jordan can have those? No. No? He's going to give them back to you, though. No. No? Share. That's a good word. You're sharing. You won't share? Hey. Hey. Will you share too? Yes. Yes, that's nice. You did a good job. You gave it them? You gave it to him? Yeah. With a smile on your face too, right? Because we share with our friends. It's good. Play with you? What do you want to play with him? I want to play with you. You want to play with me? Yeah. Okay, what are we going to do? Maybe. I don't want to play with the animals. You don't want to play with the animals? Okay. Thank you. Hey, Jordan, you weren't supposed to knock them down. Isabel shared with you. That wasn't nice you knocked it down. Thank you. You want to play with that? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jordan. Good job, Jordan. You use your manner words? Yes, you're welcome. See how nice it is to share? And now you've made your friend smile. You see Jordan smiling? Good.
Well, there are two videos with different outcomes, really. Why? What did make the difference between one video and another video? My understanding, the attitude by the teacher. The attitude make a huge difference in how children were supported. And to achieve better outcomes in our practice, we need to be conscious of our feelings, face, and asserting our powerlessness. The first teacher, and maybe not judgment, uh, seems to not accept the powerless that in that moment of course with the situation. And when you accept, like the second teacher, that you don't have the control about the situation in the moment, then you try to apply strategies to improve our reflective practice and our responsive relationship around us. Because we know that the better outcomes not depend on of our control, depend of the strategies that I will apply to support children. Okay, sorry. Okay, when we facing an setting of powerlessness, you have a new power, and is the power that doesn't have power. Okay, it's a little bit tricky, but is the way that you can see this situation. Okay, when we admit that we don't have the power to control all around us, then we will tend to look for strategies, look for theories, look for uh, research that support our practice and they help us to be more responsive and compassionate educators. I mm, write some ideas, uh, the how we can empower our children, how we can support and improve the self-regulation skills, social and emotional skills in our children in the classroom and in the daily day. I recommend first be reflective um, about our childhood experience. I believe this is crucial, and we discuss it about in the first and second chapter from the book. um, be reflective in a formal and informal learning. Okay, how I learned about my feeling, my biases, my beliefs. Okay, not only in the college, in the street, in my relationship with my family, with my friends. Uh, how is my feelings about all the situations that I face uh, until my childhood. I need to be conscious. Okay, in my view, okay, is that a child have has determined behavior, and for example, the first video is disrespectful. Okay, and if my style caregiver could be harsh if my attitude is like, okay, I have the control and you need to obey me. Okay, the teacher don't offer don't in my view the teacher doesn't offer options for the child. Just say, do you want a banana? Maybe you need to apply another uh, sentences. Maybe take the child, put in your legs. I have an idea. Maybe the attitude, the non verbal communication in the first video was crucial in the outcome. Okay, then we need to be conscious about not verbal communication, or bias, or belief. Um, all of that things influence and our style. You have two ways in act with the children, or we will have um, or we will have a harsh caregiver style, or we will have a compassionate caregiver style. Because if you sometimes act in one way and sometimes in another way, the child will be confused. And we create a big problem in the development of this child. Then, first, reflective practice is fundamental, okay? And this is the reason, okay, of why reflective is important because we can improve our actions and avoid inappropriate reactions. No? The second suggestion is apply cultural reflective practice. Okay, reflecting in and reflecting on actions is proposed by this theorist. And what is reflecting in action, as we study, it's mean being flexible at the moment, flexible, okay, in our attitude. You cannot apply control at this moment, and it requires you to make really quick decisions on the fly. So that you do is to use the information you have from previous experiences or from your childhood, beliefs, or values. Okay, this is quickly. Then you need to be conscious about your feelings to avoid harmful or inappropriate actions. No? And when we apply the reflection on action, we talk about the process of looking back on an event, thinking after the event to analyze what is wrong, what works in order to make improvements. Okay, and the next achieve better outcome in order my reflection was effective. If my reflection in this um, reflective practice theory is great, is mindfulness, then the next time, in based in this experience, I will be, I will have better outcomes. Okay. Okay. In the two videos, okay, think about the two videos that we watch. Okay, and again, without judgment, the second teacher seems to handle better the situation than the first one. Okay, in both cases, another child who is not involved in the situation approaches the teachers, and both reactions are so different. The first teacher said, "Sit down, please." Instead, another teacher listened to the child who approached with some toys and applied the serve and return strategy and continued with the two children that have the conflict resolution problem. Um, then you can in a concrete example how the attitude is so different between one and another teacher. Okay, other strategy that improve our mindfulness in our practice is the cycle of calms. We talk about that in class too, and this is a process in the learner, in the teacher, a process in us. It's an internal process, okay, and it is a process that reflects on events, feelings, situations that ha- have happened. Why? Okay, because we can improve the outcomes, we can take the better and appropriate actions, especially in challenging behavior by children. Then it's a cycle that repeats and on and on and on, and you reflect what happened, why the situation happened, and why how can improve this situation in a future when the situation repeats. Okay. Another very important aspect to take into account um, about how you lose the powerlessness in the classroom is the temperament. You never ever control the temperament of the child. Then you need to study uh, deeply the temperament first and the temperament of the child as well. Uh, we need to talk about uh, the child is have an easy, difficult, or what dry personality, or is a orchid or dialome uh, child, no? And the same us. I am a easy person or a adult, uh, or I am a difficult teacher, or I am the most of the time orchid or the most of the time dialogue teacher. We need the first time check our um, inner situation, or temperament, or feelings, or um, beliefs, and after that, we will be more supportive to help the children. Okay, then we need to provide active learning is necessary, and listening to realize how we work and how the children work as well. No, if we are aware of our temperament, we can support children better, and we can meet our needs and be compassionate with others. Think in the videos that we watched. Why did the first child become more and more frustrated? Which message nonverbal conveys to the teacher when she approached the child? What did perceive the child that increased his frustration? My understanding, and I repeat again without a judgment, is the first educator wants to maintain control of the situation and it become worse for the child. Another important strategy or idea take into account is the emotional environment that we need to create around us and in the classroom. And this emotional environment, or the emotional aspect, we uh, was studied in chapter for before chapters, no? But just mention that taking into account the emotional intelligence concept uh, is helpful for children and for teachers as well. No? However, to provide an appropriate and secure emotional environment in the classroom, need that we as compassionate caregivers be conscious about our emotions to support emotional skills in children. When our emotional reactions may be inappropriate, it causes incredible frustrations in children and incredible frustration in us. No? It communicates to the child both in your body language and what you say and what you don't say, the way that we respond in a difficult situation. If I will be if I will be a frustrated teacher, then I convey these feelings to my children that I care. No? Uh, think about the video game. Probably, educator and child in the first video don't have a secure attachment, and both spend emotional energies to control the situation. It's really, really very hurtful situation. To sum up, okay, all these ideas help us to empower children around us. Then our powerlessness become empowering to them. It's a transformation in the energy. Okay, I can't control the situation, but I can take this situation, be resilient, and empower this child in a different way and support him by me from my powerlessness in order to help and support the child and achieve better outcomes. No? Uh, when we face our powerlessness and accept it, then we will look for a new and appropriate strategies to obtain better outcomes. Why? Because the child you care will be more secure. They will develop social and emotional skills and participate in the co-regulation process. In the end, this child will have the basic skill necessary to grow and to have a sane and secure development. Okay. Another main point that Jacobson talk in this chapter uh, is how people want to become teachers. What is the reason uh, that the people want to become educator? And in an explicit and crude mood, she explained the challenges this profession implies, plus a lower payment in the education profession, plus an insufficient acknowledgement by society. In consequence, according to Jacobson, no? All those factors represent more situations that increase frustration and hunger in educators. The low value that society has to early childhood educators add another aspect to trigger powerlessness in us. Then she explains that this point of view make that some teachers prefer to go with oldest children to improve their income that they value as an educator. Again, it is value to ask why we decide to become an early childhood educator. It is important to support our practice, being conscious of which reason encouraged me to take this decision because all is about emotions. We work with our emotions and the emotion of the children as well. And we need to be focused and centered in our life in order to avoid harsh a child. No? In this quotation by Jacobson say, caregivers work hard at a profession that is undervalued and they are expected to be nurturing and emotional responsive while feeling resentment, low self-worth, and powerlessness. It's so hard for us work with children that show, and this is normal, challenging behaviors, and manage to all these situation, emotional situations around of our life, no? Low payments, low acknowledged by the society. Then we need be uh, we need clear about how I am want or how I want to become educated. Okay. Finally, I want to read this interesting quotation of Jacobson. And then maybe we can, with great love, turn those small children in our care into great human beings. We could never measure the impact that we have in children with love, compassion, and reflection. I believe that we could try our best to the affect as beneficial as possible the development of children. it is not about to emphasize the challenging behavior. It is about to understand that the child has a bad moment, feel frustrated, upset, and this child needs my compassion. But first, I need to be compassionate with me. I need to be, uh, or I need to be conscious about my own feelings, my lack of power in many situations, and I need to be increase my reflective practice and my responsive relationships in order to establish a relation win-win. All will win in the relationships with the educator. Try to be responsive and compassionate. Thank you for listening me. And this is the three discussions, reflection questions that we will post in the discussion board. Do you believe that educators need to confront their feelings of powerlessness to empower children? And why? Share three ideas or concepts that impact you from the reading and why these ideas impact you. And how do you know if your practice corresponds to a hard or responsible caregiver? Okay, thank you for hearing me and have a wonderful day. Bye.